Welcome Dungeoneers to Dungeon Chronicles, my name is Dan, and tonight, for the second week running, unfortunately, two of our players are missing. So we are going to do part two of our two-part special one-shot called The Undercity. We stream every Friday at 8:30 GMT time here on Twitch, and the episodes will go live on Monday over on YouTube. If you're watching on Twitch, please click on the panel, the YouTube panel below, and it will send you straight over there. If you could, give us a like, comment, and subscribe. We're trying to grow our YouTube channel still. But we do appreciate everything that you guys can do for us. Or if you're watching on YouTube, head over to Twitch and give us a follow here on Twitch. The link should be in the description below. Right, without further ado, let's head into tonight's game of The Undercity.
In the year 4018, mankind ruled the stars. Within an empire that sprawls many sectors of the galaxy, Colossus hive planets are powered by industry. Planet BM437, otherwise known as Ethrol, is the greatest hive planet in all of the empire. From the barren wastes, gargantuan cities rise like sheer mountain peaks. Spire upon spire, tower upon tower climb, piercing the poisonous clouds. So magnificent they cleave the celestial lands. But the nightmares are real in the city. Hideous mutations strike from the darkness. Monstrosities have been allowed to grow unchecked, crawling out in its millions like a swarm of pus rats. Danger lurks round every corner. If the mutations, monstrosities, or even other plans don't get you first, the eldritch manifestations certainly will. Every day, hundreds, maybe even thousands die. You live fast, die young. We are the gangs in darkness. We are the warriors of the wastes. We are the Undercity.
Good evening, Dungeoneers. Once again, I'm Blue returning as the Keeper of Law for the evening. In our second part of our game of Cthulhu Dark, Death in the Undercity. On my bottom left, as a member of House Mordor, played by Dan, aka Ruin D, we have Needle.
Hello.
And on the right, apologies.
Yeah, on the right.
Sorry, it switched around from the notes that I made. On the bottom right, from House Kieran, played by Ash, aka Ashleaf, we have Polly, the bouncer.
Hi.
So, let's continue with our story then of Dungeon Chronicles Undercity. Last week, the two players, Needle and Polly, found themselves going for a trade deep in the bowels of the Undercity, which was very timely and rudely interrupted by the local enforcement. Members of the, I've got names for things, sorry, Department of Customs and Border Defence, the local militia law enforcement. They met a few of the creatures of the Undercity, found a few little snippets of information on their way out to the trading point, and then found themselves descending at quite a rate off the side of a walkway into some water. Unusual to see this much water in one place in the Undercity. They, however, held themselves together very well and made their way through the depths to a strange and unusual sight of a section of the ruins, the older city, where they've met a tree-like being, which handed off a emblem, a symbol, to Polly, which was promptly stolen by Needle. And they were washed again deeper, right to the very, very depths of the old city, through tunnels and pipes, finding themselves deep in the very oldest parts of the city. And that is where we find them at this point, slowly bobbing along the river, as it's started to come to a bit more of a steady pace. The brickwork and old wooden decaying walkways slowly passing above them as they bob along the river.
Is there anywhere where I can see where we can get out of goddamn water?
Yeah, you see a few. So there's bridge. There's kind of skeletal bridges, kind of over the top of you every so often. There is sections of the brickwork which is dipped down into the river. What do you think would be a good place for you to try and get out?
So there's nothing like, not sandbanks, but there's nothing like.
It's more kind of canalways at the moment, as opposed to sandbanks. It's brickworks, almost what we would recognise to be kind of the banks of canals with kind of docks for boats, for small boats and things on it. I mean, it's only about 15 foot across. They're not particularly large waterways or anything. I would like both of you though, just to start off. If you can give me a dice roll.
Oh.
Just because you've never really been this much in water before. You've never really gone anything higher than kind of knee height, because it's such a rare commodity.
My ancestors have.
Well, do you have gills?
Yeah. So yes.
Realistically, swimming is something that people can do. May not be particularly adept at it, but I'd like both of you to roll 1 dice plus your insanity dice if you'd like to.
Oh.
I'm just gonna roll my 1 dice.
Yeah, me too. I got a 3.
3.
I got a 5.
Perfect. Yeah. Polly, your strength in this situation, you're swimming against quite a low, not tide, current that's running through the river. You're able to help Needle where he starts floundering a little bit. You're able to kind of grab him, pull him further towards one of the edges, kind of almost lifting him out the water, so you can get up onto the edge.
Because he's too weak. His weak little arms.
Apparently doesn't have webbed feet.
Built for speed. All right. Built for getting into small holes.
Getting us lost.
You find yourselves. Oh, no,
no. I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to.
You find yourselves just on the bank of this, or the edge of this waterway. You see ahead of you another kind of intersection of this waterway. There seems to be several almost islands, very geometrically cut, square cut. These two main waterways that you can see, intersected periodically by kind of crossings and bridges and things like that. There are buildings there. Any wood is kind of skeletal at best, rotted completely through at worst. And there's no lights down here, apart from any which you are happening to be carrying.
And this is genuinely a question for the Keeper of Law. Do my goggles allow me to see in the dark? Or are they literally for sunlight sensitivity or light sensitivity rather than light enhancement?
Probably wouldn't be for sunlight sensitivity because you've never really been outside.
No, but where my clan, or not clan,
how your gang operates, it would make sense that they would have.
Well, they're in the dark. That's where they normally operate. So what I was thinking was, are these goggles more for the fact of when we go to the major areas that we are not blinded by the bright lights of the city, as it were, or is it for we can see better in the dark?
Which would you prefer it to be?
Well, from a that's a very difficult question. From a thematic theme point, from a thematic point, I would like them to be that we have to dim them down so that we're not blinded. But from a help standpoint, I would like them to, so I'm kind of torn, I'll be honest with you.
I'm more inclined to go with the, and Ash, you can, sorry, Polly, you can pop a little bit of feedback on this as well. I would be more inclined to say that it's likely that they see better in low light and they need the protection when they go into brighter places. Do you feel that's fair?
Yeah, that's cool. So kind of like a shifty, kind of like a Spider-Man lens kind of thing, where it just
cool. So like the Native Americans, where they've got the bone visors with the slits in them that stop the snow blindness.
Oh, is that what they were for? You learn something new every day, guys. There we go. Right here on Twitch. So, oh no, I never knew that. That's really cool. Yeah. So
unless you want to roll for it to be different.
I will adjust. I will adjust, and I will hopefully get a few more gamma rays through, so I can see a little bit better.
Yeah. Do you have any light sources or anything on you?
No, I don't, but I'll...
Glow sticks for the clubs.
I'll have neon tattoos on my arm to use them. I'll rely on Needle to lead the way. You can prove to me.
Very dark.
I don't think I packed any light sources with me before I left the club.
A light source isn't something I'd grab, to be fair. It's not something that, again, especially if I can adjust a little bit. Even if it's just in greys, even if it's just in, or it could be thermal red, I don't care. Like, but as like just a little bit of like.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's just you've got you can't see perfectly, but you can see to some degree, kind of within maybe 10-15 meters of you. I'm kind of switching between distances. I do apologise. Yeah, about 10-15 meters in front of you, so you can kind of see to the end of the building that you stood next to.
Does the building look anything? Does it look of anything? Oh God, I can't get my words out. Friday night, guys, long week in work. Does the building have any interest, or does it just look like a ruined building that's just a ruined building?
It's a building you've not seen anything like it before. This deep in the Undercity, and you've reached what's known as the old cities, which are literally some of the original buildings. It's not something you've seen before, but it doesn't immediately kind of scream out as a building of importance. Possibly looks like someone's house, or a couple of people's houses, depending on how tightly packed you'd normally live, which would probably be quite tightly packed. Looks possibly like one of the gang leaders' house, kind of sizes for their accommodation.
So of some importance, like
possibly.
Yeah. Sadler. So my head dips back under the water. Sadler, want to go check that out?
You're gonna have to lead the way. I can't see anything really that well.
Okay.
I'm gonna stick my hand on Needle's shoulder, so you can like guide me.
So I will try and make it. Right, basically, I'm just gonna go push in that direction, and I'll put my hand out and I'll point.
Push you?
Yeah.
Why?
I am not adept at swimming.
Okay, I'll be like, you're never good at anything, are you? And then I'll just push him.
I fucking saw in the dark. I did this. I did the. So yeah, I'm gonna try and make our way over to the bank or the canal bit.
Yeah, it's only about a foot or two above the level of the water, so it's easy enough to kind of body yourself out of it. So you're fine. You kind of reach the edge of it. You climb up onto it.
I'll just throw him off.
Which lifts you up.
Just hit the floor. Ow. Next time, warn me. Bitch. My nickname for you. It's fine. What do I see? What do we see?
You kind of manhandled up onto the edge. You can see, as I said, in front of you, this quite large building. The doors are completely rotted away. Literally, if you were to touch them, they'd look like they'd literally fall over. And it goes into this building. I mean, at the moment, again, it gets even darker inside the building, so you can't really see a huge amount, even with your.
I'm gonna as I'm walking up to the. I suppose it's not a door, but like as I'm walking up, as I'm walking up to it, I'll be looking around to see what is around, like you just described. So yeah, I make it to the opening. And I will. I'll just turn and go. Ladies first.
You go first. I can't see.
Argue with your.
For once in your life, go first.
Are you my mother? I'm gonna slowly open. If there's any door remaining, I'm gonna slowly open it up and. Hello.
Why are you saying hello? There's not going to be anyone here.
You don't know.
Look at the place.
I've seen worse. In the safe areas, and then bus rats come out of anywhere or fucking anything, so. To be on your guard, then dead. Hello?
Well, aren't you just going to attract things to you?
At least I'll fucking see them!
Oh, calm down.
So the building in front of you, you can see an entranceway. From outside, you can see it kind of spreads as far as you can see, about 15 meters to the left and to the right, and goes up not just this floor, but there is a second one stacked on top of it. You can kind of see from your vision, it looks almost like early attempts at stacking buildings as they've done later on, but on a much larger scale. With the actual way that the cities have been built, you're seeing these starting of buildings being stacked on top of each other. But it almost looks like it's supposed to be like that, as opposed to added on afterwards.
Right.
And yeah, you go up to the doorway. Are you going? You said you're pushing the door.
I'll give it a little.
Yeah.
Blow.
You're. As it just tips and crashes onto the floor. There's probably a couple of panels about kind of half meter across, high as the door frame, just crumbles, and it doesn't produce dust because this area is quite damp. All the water running through it. There's water kind of definitely kind of water into like all up on the sides and things. But yeah, from stepping foot into the building, you can see kind of an entrance way. There's a staircase ahead of you. One thing that you both do notice is you've still got your backpack.
I do.
From Holly, from your point of view, stood behind him, you can see through the weave of the material a slight glow. If you remember, some of the stims do emit a light as well, whether it's through design or whether it's through necessity. Some of the stims do glow in their own accord.
Toxicity.
Yeah. If it's got chemicals in it, it's gonna glow. One other thing that you do notice, Polly, you were holding that amulet. Where is it now?
Oh, it was stuck in my hand, wasn't it? I remember.
Didn't you put it around your neck?
Used your hand.
I think it did, didn't I? Yeah, around my neck.
You put it around your neck and then you're holding it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Needle, you tried to snatch it off her neck pretty much, didn't you?
No, he snatched it.
No, I robbed it off the tree, and then she robbed it off me.
I
robbed it off the tree, and I was swinging it round, and I was like, ha ha, I got this, and she went, fuck you, and got it.
Yeah.
As she grabbed it, it pierced the skin, and she put it on, and had the vision.
That was it.
And then the water came. Yes. Yeah, so that's still around your neck, and you see there is a slight kind of watery, watery kind of blue-green glow coming from that as well. As you only notice it now, you've gone into these kind of darker buildings. So there is potentially some degree of light, so you can start seeing kind of as your eyes adjust a little bit further. You start seeing kind of the outlines of things around you. A table, chairs broken apart, stone stairs kind of built up onto the back wall. You see a suit of rusted, kind of almost moth-eaten armor. It's been there for so long, it's rusted through. There's kind of blunted and rotting swords. It's so old that even the metal's starting to rot. He's been. Do you want to continue into the building? Do you want to look around elsewhere?
These are things that technically we would never have seen before.
You would have seen metal armor. Not likely. You would have seen like Kevlar.
Not in this kind, like not in this kind of design or well, not fabrication, because yeah, we'd have some form of metal armor, but like ours are more high tech, I guess you could say. Where this is very primitive.
The armor would be more like composite, like Kevlar and stuff like that. You may get kind of sheet metal and stuff, but nothing where the metal's shaped and layered as these are.
Yeah. You could anyone can get a sign and stick it to their body. But this is okay. Is there anything? Is there anything small enough that I could put in the backpack? I could grab and put in the backpack.
Be a dice roll to see if you find anything.
You
have eyes for searching.
I do.
You have skill in kind of looking around these kinds of places. I'd say this falls within your profession. Do you agree?
Okay. Yeah.
And you can draw your insight if you wish.
Yeah, fuck it. The red one's the insight. I rolled a 4, a 4, and a 4.
Excellent.
Oh, 3d6s.
And yeah, so your insight is currently at 4. If I remember, your insight's currently at 4. Holly's is at 3. So yeah, it's not higher than your insight. So yes, you go across. There's this, as you said, kind of almost rotten suit of armor, kind of limply hanging from this frame, and down, attached to what you believe would be one of the leg plates, attached to it, you find a sheath with a small dagger in it.
Ooh.
But it's not. It doesn't look like anything you've seen before. But it's attached to the leg plate, so you can take kind of.
Yeah, and I assume it's rusted. I'm assuming it's old. I'm not looking at this for a. I want to go back, or if I get back home, I want to go back and go. I found new shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna. Is it onto like some kind of belt that goes around the thing, or like?
Yeah, so it's almost like a war skirt.
Yeah.
So plates, like metal plates that would go over the top of something that's kind of held in place.
I will undo the belt and try and take not the whole skirt, but the whole, like, the belt with the sheath and the dagger in. I wanna try and grab it all, if that's okay.
No problem with that at all. With the 4, you definitely get that. You also find kind of on the top of a table, kind of pressed underneath glass, an outlined picture of these geometric shapes.
Geometric shapes?
Yeah, like little squares kind of dotted around with lines that intersect them.
Is it a lot of D6s? Has someone been playing this game?
Many insanity.
Yeah, I'll go over and have a look at it.
I'll be following, holding Needle by the shoulder.
Yep.
Can I? Not a history check, obviously, but can I do a?
Like, would we recognise?
Yeah. What are they? What?
So you're trying to establish if you'd recognise kind of what it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're both wanting to do it, both roll. You can work together. Highest roll on this would kind of dictate the result.
I'm not proficient with law, So,
Okay.
1 for me.
1 day. Yeah.
5.
Probably same for yourself, Polly, too.
I rolled a 2.
2. Okay. So a 5. Yeah, I mean you've seen. It's going to sound daft, but you've seen maps before. This is you're used to, as you said, you're used to kind of planning things out in your head as opposed to putting it onto paper. Polly, you've probably seen, the closest that you've seen would probably be things like
Dumbbells.
No, like I thought you said gumballs for a
No,
second.
dumbbells.
Dumbbells.
20
Yeah,
key plates.
No, more, the closest you've probably seen would be when you've gone into the labs where they're making the stims, and you've seen kind of the outlines of the different chemicals and how they link together. So it's not the same, which is why you struggle to kind of translate it from that to something that you see, from this image in front of you to something you've seen before. But it's a map down on paper, and it looks like squares would be buildings maybe, and then the intersections would be maybe the water courseways. But there's no like "you are here" sign or anything, but it just looks like there's something written across the top in a language you don't understand. You don't recognise it. But one thing that does catch your eye as you're looking at this is there's again, it almost looks like a precursor to what you've seen the Undercity and the cities above look like. This this kind of steeple tower, kind of two of them sat next to each other, kind of joining together in this very tall, slender steeple. And it's not too far away from where from kind of the center of the image.
Look. Oh, there you go. The mic didn't pick up. Look. I point to the 2 spires. Do you know what that could be?
No, do you?
Yeah.
What is it?
Upward tunnels.
And are you sure?
Yes. Of course I'm sure.
Do you want to take the your bag is glowing? Do you want to take whatever's glowing out your bag and hold it so we can see better?
I can see perfectly fine. Ish.
Yeah, but I can't, and I don't really want to trust your eyesight.
I think that's a you problem, not a me problem.
You do know I can just take the bag from you if I wanted to.
Not if you can't see me! And I'm going to try and run and hide.
I would try.
You okay? So, what do you do? Describe what you do over the next kind of 15 seconds or 10 seconds.
Okay. You said there's no dust in here. Fuck. I am going to. I am going to go into one of my little. Actually, no, I've got like little chemical things on my pouches, haven't I? Like Batman. So I'm gonna get one of the vials. I'm gonna smash it on the floor, and then it, like a big pile of smoke comes out, or like red smoke, and then I'm literally. What else was around? Did you say that there was an opening under the stairs, or do you just go up the stairs?
Straight up the stairs.
Straight up the stairs. I'm gonna bolt it upstairs, because that's probably the only line of sight blocker that I can fathom at the moment in this small. Yeah.
Okay. Roll yourself your dice.
I'm gonna roll all 3.
You're gonna roll all.
Yeah.
So I'll give you kind of moving unseen. What falls under your profession?
Oh no. My insanity dice was a 6.
Oh, okay. That is the highest. You. Okay. Polly, would you like to do an opposed dice roll to change the scene?
Yes,
Yeah,
I
I
would.
thought you might. It's cogs working. Describe what happens instead.
As he goes to smash it and run, I want to try and stick my foot out and trip him up. Like do a sweep attack with my foot. Try and trip him
Okay.
up.
Roll your dice. I will give you obviously combat and bouncer combat definitely falls under that. You can roll your insight dice if you wish as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll all 3.
Yep.
I'm going to smash my head and go insane, aren't I?
Okay. My highest was a 5. With a normal
Okay.
dice, not the insight one, but normal dice. 5.
You can re-roll if you wish.
Would it re-roll
Oh.
all 3 again?
You can as long as the insanity dice has been included in the dice roll, you can re-roll.
Oh.
Or if you haven't rolled your insanity dice, you can add the insanity dice and re-roll. It just hasn't really come up beforehand.
So I can re-roll all 3 again if I want to.
You can re-roll all 3.
Right, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Okay, I got a 6. On a normal dice, not the insanity one. That makes a difference.
Okay. I just need to check some wording for you.
I got 2 6s, and then on my insanity one, I rolled a 1.
That's what you want.
I got a 5, a 4, and then a 6. Oh god, I'm gonna go cuckoo. Well, at least I've told you how to get back. I've told you where the spires are. I've told you that they go up. Now I just go cuckoo. You leave me there. You take the backpack. You go back home. Done.
I would, yeah, I could do actually.
Oh no. Keeper of Law is checking the law.
Yep. If you get equal to or higher than the highest dice roll, you succeed. So, Needle pulls out the little canister, chucks it on the floor, smoke, runs. Polly literally kicks his feet out from under him.
When you were in high school and you were running and that dickhead just like clips your heel. You're like,
Yeah. But she kicks it rather than just kind of sweeping it. She kicks it, and you literally go head over heels, and end up crumpled on the floor. Polly, I would need for you to roll a d6. If you roll a 1, 2, or 3, you're fine. If you roll a 4, 5, or 6, let me know. 1 dice.
I rolled a 2.
2. Okay, you keep it together. You see him kind of face plant the floor. You hear a crunch as something, maybe a tooth goes loose or something, or maybe his nose kind of crunches a bit or something. You're not entirely sure. He just goes down and doesn't move for a couple of seconds.
do I need to roll? Do I get any insanity?
No. Yours gets effectively cancelled out by Holly's roll. So you're okay.
I'll just look at Neil on the floor and say, grab him by the shoulder, pick him up and say, come on, let's go. Don't try that again. And then I'm going to take the backpack and get the glowing stims off. Use them as light. You can have them back later.
I want them back now.
Later.
Then give me the letter.
No. What's the letter going to do for you? Can't give you any light.
Because then I know you're gonna give them back. That was the part of the deal. We got the stims, you got the letter.
You just have to trust me then, won't you?
No.
Well, you're going to have to.
I'm gonna try and bite her on the nose.
Roll your attack. So you're specifically trying to kind of scramble.
No, she's got me. It's not hard to lift me up. I weigh,
okay.
I weigh
Yeah.
3 pounds soaking wet. You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
I could just picture her like there, or like even puffing up, You know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
and I'm just literally going to try and like lean forward and just gnaw on her nose.
Okay. Yeah. Roll your dice. You probably wouldn't get your occupation dice with this.
On a 5.
And Polly, oppose the roll if you wish.
So-
You would get your occupation dice with this.
So could I say, like, as he goes to bite my nose, I could just like bitch slap him in the face?
Yeah,
Or-
you
yeah.
interact with him instead. So
Yeah.
you it depends on what you roll.
Okay.
But if you roll higher, you can slap him instead.
Just
Yeah.
so you know, if I do bite you on the nose, my mouth is completely bleeding because you tripped me over. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh.
So you definitely got 2 dice, Polly. You can roll 3 if you wish.
I'm gonna roll 2.
Gonna roll 2. No, we're gonna roll your insanity dice.
No. I rolled a 5. Highest.
So this is opposed as opposed to changing the. Yeah. So because they're the same, first thing we do is decide: do either of you want to add your insight dice to the dice pool to roll again?
You only get 6.
I don't want to roll my insight dice.
Okay, I'm gonna try it then. I don't care if I go cuckoo. I got a 1.
So your dice roll becomes so you add the insight dice and roll all of your dice.
Oh. So the insight was a 1. I got 2 3s.
Okay. Yeah, so that becomes your dice roll.
Yeah, so I got a 3, so I lose.
As you kind of dart your head forward to bite Polly, what happens?
I'm gonna slap him across the face and say, what are you trying to do?
Going in for a kiss. All them bulging biceps and pectoral muscles, and I just can't hold it back no more.
Do you think you're really worthy to kiss me? You look like a maggot.
Wow,
Keep that bloodied mouth away from me.
how to let a guy down softly. Ugh. I have my stems back. Look, that was part of the deal.
You can have them back when we get back out of the
Promise you.
darkness.
Give me the stems back. No more kisses. It's gonna be hard for me. Really hard. Really, really. Like, I don't know how I'm gonna be able to cope.
Listen, stop trying to negotiate with me. You're not getting the Sims back.
Fuck.
You can have them back at the end. What are you trying to do with them eyes? Trying to intimidate me? Give me the
You
evil
can't
eyes.
even see my eyes because I got goggles on.
Yeah, that's true, actually. That is true.
Imagine the goggles go.
Oh, God.
Right.
Can we just get moving now? Wasting time.
Put me down.
No, I'll just put him down. And then push him and say, come on.
Now you can see. Ladies first.
Fine. And then I'll just go in front, push him. Push him out the way.
Yeah.
Where
so
is your envelope?
In my boobs. In the top, under the boobs.
in my boobs?
Safely hidden.
Would you like to roll to see if you can spot envelope?
It's spot a boobs. Don't worry about that. Yes, I will try. I'm probably proficient in looking for knickknacks and little shitty bits. So not your boobs. I'm on about the
I was
letter.
gonna say something completely different.
Fuck that. I got it. No, I'm rolling my insanity dice.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 2 and a 1 for my normal roll, but then I rolled my insanity dice. I rolled a 1, but I get to re-roll the others, don't I?
So insanity dice, you add the dice to it and roll them all again.
Yes. Even the insanity dice again.
So sorry, you rolled it without the insanity dice.
I rolled without the insanity dice, got a 2 and a 1.
Yep. You then add the insanity dice to it and roll all 3.
And then I rolled all 3, and I got a 1 and 1 and a 6, but not on my insanity dice.
Okay.
Which means so.
You did roll a 6er.
I did.
So can you?
Oh, don't tell me I go nuts by looking at your boobs.
Can you roll a 1d6 for me and see if you start going crazy?
I got a 1.
You got a 1? You're fine. You do spot the envelope ducking out from the top of her tunic as she's wearing. You know where it is.
Okay. Side quest.
Get the boobs.
No! Let the envelope!
I believe you. Many wouldn't. So you depart through the way that you came?
Yeah.
Or are you going to...
Well, Polly's in front, so.
Yeah, we're gonna go towards the upper tunnels.
Okay. Yeah, as you depart the building, you see, as your eyes have adjusted more to the low level of light here, you can see further into the gloom, into the darkness. You can see kind of, as kind of described before, walkways, like runs of water kind of going between sections of the building. And out in the distance, you can see a kind of greeny blue glow. You can't see anything. You can't see what's emitting it at the moment, but you can see a kind of glow, ambient light source out in the distance.
Needle, have you seen anything glow like this before?
Yeah, it's around your neck.
The same glow is coming from my neck.
What I assume from the description. There you go. Wow, see, brains
very...
over brawn. Brains over brawn.
It is in fact a very similar colour.
Right. Okay, I'm gonna move cautiously closer to it, try and see what's making the light source.
Yeah. So it's not immediately within the vicinity. So it's going to it takes you a little bit of time. As I described, the walkways, the bridges and things over the water, they've rotted in some places, they've fallen apart. You have to kind of go through, double back a few times. You find kind of alleyways running parallel to each other. You kind of go down one, it's blocked, so you have to come back and then go the other way. You kind of go down these between buildings where it's kind of like you're going up through buildings and things. If you want to stop and have a look at anything, that's fine, or we can just continue kind of worming your way through the city.
No, if there's anything, then I wouldn't stop if there's nothing of interest that piques my attention.
Okay.
Yeah. Just keep going.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you do see a couple of buildings that maybe kind of, you notice a lot of the buildings are similar size to the ones that you've been in, the one that you've been in. And as you kind of go through them, you are having to literally kind of go into buildings and go up kind of rotten stairways to get across out of a window into the back of a building where sections of it have fallen through. You get to points where some of the buildings have kind of fallen against each other, and you kind of have to worm your way through these kind of really tight confined spaces. But over time, you see a couple of buildings. I mean, there's one which is a lot bigger than the others, like a lot bigger. You imagine these are probably what the wealthy people that live up near the top of the towers, top of the cities, kind of live in. it's again you see kind of remnants of gardens and trees kind of rotten and fallen down. You see kind of giant buildings, like literally even with your eyes adjusting further and further to the dark, you couldn't see either end of these buildings. But you work your way through, and eventually you step through. You kind of step through the back of a building, and you find this really tight, confined tunnel that you have to kind of work your way through. And all of a sudden, it almost spits you out into this large circular, almost like a parkland, open area. And rising ahead of you are these two blue, one kind of blue tint, one kind of green tint, almost twisting like helixes. These kind of at the base of this tower, which stretches up and up and up. You see almost the kind of almost resembling two snakes kind of intertwined with each other. One of which goes up about 200 meters, because it is emitting light. You can see the height that it travels to. You see one building, one of these towers is broken, and there's some shattered remnants kind of down the ground around it. You would expect to see a lot more, considering the size of the other one, which continues up and up and up, kind of still twisting around on itself, as if it was following the path that the other one would have also taken. And you see up at the top, it pierces the ceiling, and seems to carry on past that point. All kind of in these two separate towers, which kind of twist and intermingle with each other. One of which is broken and ends, and the other one continues upwards, all emitting this light.
Is there a door, or is it more of a statue, or is it more of a structure?
It's definitely a structure. It looks big enough that you could get into it. You don't immediately see a door, but there is. You at the base, you're probably looking. 60-70 feet across on each of these towers. So large buildings.
You fancy climbing up there, be my guest, but if you don't, I suggest we find a door.
Don't think you're going to be able to climb up there.
I don't think you're going to be able to climb up there.
I'm a lot stronger than you, though. But maybe we should find a door.
I'm still going to be really childish then and be like, and just repeat everything you say. I don't know. No, I'm not good.
Does it look like there's a door to go into it?
Well, not yet, but we need to find one.
Okay.
So I'm going to suggest you go that way, and I'm assuming they're like semicircular, or I know they intertwine, but they're semicircular. I'm going to go, you go that way, I'll go this way. If you see anything, holler.
You sure you want to separate? You're going to be on your own.
I'll be fine.
Okay, that's up to you. Don't go calling for me for help if you get into trouble then.
Well, I just said, if you see anything, holler.
Well, come with me. I'm not going to help you if you don't come with me.
Oh my god.
I will leave you to die.
Bye. And as she's walking in front, she's going to be muttering behind herself, could have cut the time in half, could have done this, but no, she needs to throw her weight around and da-da-da, and I'm just going to like mutter to myself as if like we'd have split up.
Would I have heard that?
Probably under my breath.
Okay. Just turn around, look at you and be like, have you finished?
I'm going to roll my eyes like a teenage kid. But, yeah. So. Do we eventually find a door?
You start making your way around left or right?
Right.
Right. Okay. Are you taking the time to look at the tower before you go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at it.
Yeah. In that case, I'd like for you both to roll a check.
You mean study, not
Study it,
study it?
as
No,
in
I'm not.
figure out how it works.
No, I'm looking for a
No?
door.
Okay. Polly, in that case, I would like for you to roll a check for me. Probably not under your area of expertise, unfortunately.
I'll just roll one dice.
Okay.
4.
4. Yeah, cool. Yeah, you spend a moment before you kind of storm off, or before you kind of go off and start looking for a door. You see Needle kind of starting to make his way ahead a little touch, and you kind of stay in place for a moment and you look at this tower, and you realise that by tracing down the way that it spirals, if you go across to the right, you're more likely to end up going into unless there's anything that allows travel between the two sides of the tower, you're more likely to end up in the one that's going to lead to a broken the one with the broken top to it. So if you're looking for one that goes more likely to be guaranteed to have a way right the way up to the top, you're going to be looking for the one on the left.
While she's concentrating on this, I am going to try and slip that letter out of her chesticle area.
Okay. Roll dice, and Polly roll dice as well. I know you're distracted, but just roll your standard dice. You would generally, if it's an opposed roll, you'd need to equal it, but because you're also concentrating on something else, I'm going to say you need to beat it.
Right.
Okay.
So, do I just roll one dice, yeah?
You roll one dice?
Yeah.
You can roll your insight dice if you like. Dan, don't say what you've rolled yet.
Okay. I'm just going to roll one.
Yeah. Right.
So I feel like I'm going to beat it.
Okay.
Okay, I've rolled. Should I say mine first?
Yeah.
4. I rolled a 4. Look at his face.
6.
I rolled 2 5s.
2 5s. If either of you would like to, you can add your insanity dice and re-roll.
Yeah.
Oh my
go
god! Come on! Give me a down letter. I
rolled two twos.
Yeah, you are stood there staring up at this tower as the two halves of it are twisting, intertwining. You see the light glowing, and you don't even notice as this hand kind of reaches and pulls this letter from your jacket.
I'm gonna quickly shove it in my pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm gonna, as I've like, so basically, as she's looking there, standing, I'm literally just gonna like not sneak, but I'm gonna come in front of her, and as I come in front of her, I'm gonna grab it, bring it in front of me, and go, "What do you see?"
As you're depositing it.
As I'm putting it in my pocket in front of me, like so I am my whole body's blocking her basically.
And I'll just say, if we go round to the right, we're not going to be able to get to the top. We need to go round to the left.
See, you got some brains. Good girl. Nice.
Shush.
Certainly, not a problem. But I've just got this huge grin on my face.
I'll be like, why are you smiling all of a sudden?
You did good. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Well done.
Okay, then obviously because I don't know what's happened, I'm gonna walk to the left. Damn it!
Yeah. I think we will probably need to take a little bit of a break, and we will continue as the players make their way across to the tower in front of them, across the intervening buildings.
Not a problem. Right. Catch you in a bit, guys. Thanks for watching, and see you in a sec. Bye.
See you in a bit. And welcome back. Thank you for sticking around. We will. So we left off with Needle and Polly making their way across the open land between the kind of outlying buildings and this strange, glowing, twisted tower. As you make your way across, again, these kind of flagstones cracked beneath your feet. What looks like would have been kind of planting beds, maybe, skeletal ruined trees kind of sporadically between them, just bathed in this kind of green blue glowing light. You start making your way around the side of the left hand side of the tower, and ahead of you do see a doorway, sealed, closed. There is two large swinging doors that look like they would swing inwards ahead of you.
Well, you did before. Use your head.
Can I try and kick the doors open?
I
think
would
my leg is a little stronger than my head.
Yeah, roll a. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to make you roll for this because as you raise your foot and you kick it, you hear a reverberating thud, and the doors, they just don't budge.
Does she break her leg?
No.
Oh.
No, I wouldn't be that cruel.
See, you didn't use your head.
I'll use your head in a minute if you don't shut up.
As you stand there looking at the door, Polly, you notice the door in front of you. There's carvings in it. They've worn with age. They've kind of worn down over kind of hundreds and hundreds of years, thousands of years, and you start noticing a carving in the doorway. Can you do me a favour and roll your roll to see if you can figure out what the carving is?
5.
5. You just roll the 1 dice, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You see kind of long flowing. At first you think it's almost like a beard, but then you think back to that vision that you had of the large bulbous head with the tentacles coming down the front of its face, and suddenly it clicks. These are kind of effigies of that tentacle, that kind of tentacled visage in front of you, and you see the top of the door is kind of almost carved to look like the top of the head. And as you trace the line of one of the tentacles as it comes down off the lower part of the face, you see it loops back up again and creates like a circle in the door.
Does it look like my necklace would fit in there?
Certainly try.
I'm going to try and put my necklace in the...
Okay. I would like for you to roll a insight dice.
Oh! 5.
5. What's your current insight?
3, I think, isn't it?
3.
Yeah, just checking if pulling you. So that's higher than your insight. So as you take off the necklace and as you kind of move it in front of the loop in the door, you feel it almost like magnetically kind of snap out, or almost out your fingers and snap into place on the door, and you feel a presence, a kind of an oppressing, like a pressure on your head, and you feel kind of something cold kind of tracing down your back. And just for a moment, you get the vision of this sleeping behemoth, hundreds, probably a couple of hundred, probably 50, 60, 80 foot tall. The head level with the upper level of the walkway as you're stepping through into the room. Needle by your side, and again, click. The door swings. Needle, as this is happening, what are you doing?
I'm gonna let her have this one. I'm just there. I am literally, just there.
That's
So
okay.
does my insanity go up by 1 because of that? Yeah?
It does go up by 1, yes. It goes up to 4.
Do I notice anything like when we get these visions or these feelings or the thing? Do our eyes like flicker, or do we,
So,
like Wednesday out of Wednesday? Does her head pop up and stare at the sky or the roof, or like what? Or is it just a thing that happens within us?
it's more likely a thing you'll hear, kind of potentially an intake of breath. It's described as when your insanity increases, when your insight increases, it's a feeling that you're no longer holding it together. So when you succeed, you're holding it together. You're not kind of doing brilliantly, but you're holding it together. Whereas when your insanity increases, you're recognizing more of what's happening around you, but you are starting to see changes in people over time. So it's only, bear in mind, this has probably only been about 12 hours, if that you've been kind of travelling through this area, through the Undercity and kind of down into the old cities. It's probably only been about 12 hours. But you've already almost become different people from how you were at the beginning. How you kind of show that is down to yourselves. But you're now recognizing a lot more of what's happening around you than you were previously. So I guess it's down to Polly. What kind of reaction would you have to that?
I'd probably step back a bit and probably be a bit shaky, I'd say, after seeing the vision.
Have I had any visions of this thing that you can see?
No.
I didn't think I had. I haven't got a clue. Okay. No, I'm good.
Yeah, if anything, you probably kind of see her maybe a little bit unstable on her feet for a couple of moments.
Yeah, I don't care about
that. As you are stood there, though, Polly, you're kind of inspecting the door. You've kind of popped the amulet in. Needle, you're stood kind of keeping an eye out.
Yeah, I'd be looking around.
Yeah. Okay. So across maybe this 100 meter stretch of ground that you've travelled across, as you kind of look around, you realise it is almost a complete sphere, a complete circle. That these buildings are kind of angled in a way that they almost create this circle around it. And out in the distance, just kind of illuminated by the light that the tower itself is producing, you see a figure. And then maybe 5 or 6 foot to the side, you see a second figure. And as you kind of continue to look around, you see another figure kind of emerging from the end of an alleyway. Again, another figure. And as you look, there's emerging from the old parts of the city, you see figure after figure after figure, just glowing just illuminated by the light that's coming from the tower itself.
I'm gonna take a small little sidestep where I'm kind of like a T with Polly, so I can still see these figures, and I'm just gonna go. There are things. Don't turn round. There are things looking at us.
What do
Right.
they look like?
I'm assuming a shaded figure. Yeah, like are they wearing armor? Are they wearing robes? Are they not a humanoid form at all? Are they?
They look humanoid. Universally, they do look humanoid. You see they're different sizes. So some are larger, some are smaller, some are more muscular, some are tall and thin.
Okay. So they wouldn't instantly shoot out anything that I would know of, like a type of gang, the DCPD, anything that I am used to. No,
Definitely not something you've
I
seen
didn't
before.
think so.
The style of clothing looks weird.
Yeah.
You see kind of bits of armor maybe that are similar to what you've seen in the houses as you made your way through.
Okay. I don't know, but it's not something that we're used to.
How many do you see?
Lots. Multiple. And as I'm saying this, I am also trying to Sherlock Holmes it a little bit. I'm trying to find an escape route.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, from where you are, the tower will kind of sweep around either side of you. If you're facing with your back to the tower, the sides of the tower's that big, the sides of the tower will kind of block your view behind you. But looking for the kind of 180 degrees or so either side of you that you can see around to, you see a figure, then a gap, then a figure, then a gap. As you're looking at them, they seem to kind of shift. So one will kind of fade out, and then
they're not corporeal.
They either aren't corporeal or they are somehow moving without being seen. But the way they're moving doesn't seem right.
I was going to say, I know how to move without being seen. Is this something that is,
You're envious of how well they can move.
Right, yeah, this ain't normal.
No.
I'm the best at what I do. Like, this is normal. And not through skill, just through sheer shitting myself constantly. They're not moving correctly, and trust me when I say this is beyond my skills.
You said this was upward tunnels, didn't you, to get out? So should we just go through the tunnels to get out?
Well, I'd figure out that door fucking quickly.
The door's open now, isn't it?
Oh, is the door open?
Yeah, one of the figures starts taking a few steps forward, and as one, all of them, not fast, just step.
I think we should go in the tunnel quickly.
Yeah, so I will gesture for her to move forward, and as she does, I am going to try and grab the amulet out of the door. As I'm running through the door, basically, I'm going to try and grab the amulet out of the door so the door hopefully closes behind us.
Mm-hmm. It's the first time so you're grabbing the amulet itself as opposed to the chain. Okay.
I'm assuming that I'm assuming it. Yeah, because I don't want to grab the chain, pull it, and then the fucking chain breaks. I want to get the whole fucking amulet.
Yeah. You grab the amulet. Can you do a insight check for me?
No. 3.
3. That is lower than your insight.
It is. I'm already fucked up. It's fine.
You grab it and you pull it, and yeah, you hear from outside in unison step. as these very light footsteps just kind of echo through the darkness, echo through the empty space and the silence around you, and you do see the doors start to close.
Okay. Do I believe that there is enough time for them doors to close before the beings make their way to approach the door, like actually get to the door? Or do I think that it's going to be shut before they get there?
You would think so. They're kind of taking steps as opposed to sprinting or running or anything like that.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'll chance it then. And I'm just gonna dart forward and let the doors close.
Okay. Polly, do you want to do anything?
I'll just turn to Needle. Say, so if we go up, is this going to take us out of here?
Yeah.
And then I'm just going to gesture for him to run quickly. Take it to the stairs going up?
Yeah. What do we see? What do we see inside the chamber?
Yeah. As you kind of step into the chamber, as I said, the door's closing behind you. It's not slow. It's a decent speed. The doors are closing. You see the tower kind of going up ahead of you. The room inside, it looks kind of like almost like the entrance into the kind of open area in the club. Not the neon lights, nothing like that, but just a reception room.
Okay.
And on the left-hand side from where you're stood, because you're in the left-hand tower, reaching out about 10 foot from the wall is a large staircase that kind of spirals up around the outside, through a floor about 30 foot above you. So these buildings, each floor is tall.
Is there anything else? To be fair, I wouldn't. At a quick glance, is there anything else in the room apart from like just a reception room? So like an old chair and.
There's broken furniture. Again, it doesn't seem as aged as the buildings you've been in previously. It seems to be kind of something means that it doesn't kind of age as quickly. But yeah, it's just broken furniture. Nothing particularly kind of catches your eye for a quick glance.
Yeah, bolting up the stairs and get away from these beings.
Okay.
And as I run past, I thought I'm gonna say, thought you were meant to be the fighter. And I just keep getting it up the stairs. Oh, and I'll give the amulet a toss so she can catch it.
And I'll catch it. And I'll just say to Needle, that was impressive that you did that, like with the amulet to close the door. But still think you're a weak maggot.
Brains before brawn! As I'm pegging it, I'm just gone. So yeah, we get to I'm gonna cautiously peer over onto the second floor, peer up to the second floor, peer into the second floor. You get what I mean?
Yeah, the staircase literally goes up through the floor.
Yeah.
So you'll go up and you'll get to a point where you'll be able to look over the top of it before you continue up. Or at least you would do.
When I go on.
The fact that at the top of the stairs,
Fuck.
there seems to be kind of furniture and things kind of piled down into the stairwell, blocking it.
I'm gonna try and push it, like throw it out the way, like grab it and move it out the way so we can get past.
Oh fuck! Oh no!
I thought you meant needle for a second.
No, no. All I'm thinking is instant rock slide or furniture slide. Like you pull out one chair and the rest of it just goes, and I'm just gonna get swept away in this pile of furniture.
So, Polly, I would like for you to do a check for me.
Okay.
Are you going? Are you trying to figure out how to remove it without it potentially
Yes.
causing a slide, or are you just
No,
going to go
you
and
went
try and
before
find
I
your way
said
through it?
that. When?
I'm gonna try and figure out how to move it without causing needle,
pull it, or are you gonna
squishing
push it?
needle. Hmm.
Just,
So if I-
just do you. You were totally not. I'm sorry. I'm gonna call that. You
Okay.
were totally not gonna do anything careful at all.
I'm gonna try and like
Well-
just like move it to the side a little bit to try and make like a little gap, but like
Okay.
cautiously. While
Do you want to
squishing
roll your
needle.
dice for
Is it just one? Like, was it
that?
not mine?
You can
Occupation, is
you
it?
can roll your 2 dice for that.
Okay. 6.
6. Okay. Needle, would you like to change the scene?
So she's doing. You're doing
gonna
it carefully.
moving things carefully.
Yeah, no,
Do
you're
you
not
feel
moving
that
things
it's more
carefully. No,
correct?
you are totally not. That was that. You only come up with that because I was like, oh god, rock slide or furniture slide. Like, nah, not having that at all. So yeah, 2 dice or 1? What are we rolling?
You would be rolling. I just want to double check I got this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're gonna do that. Alright, he doesn't have the brains for that. Fucking hell. Madness. Oh, hang on. Oh, there it is.
I believe for the failure dice, it's only 1 dice.
Okay. And I need to get a 6, don't I, basically?
You need to get a 6,
I got
but
it
you
through.
can add an insight and re-roll it if you wish.
Yeah, absolutely. My insight is highest, which is 4.
4.
As these tables come clattering down.
No,
Oh, no, you
so-
moved it carefully, yeah.
Yeah, so Polly goes up. You almost twitch back with the fact that you're expecting her to just literally pile drive through. But Polly, can you roll an insight roll for me? Because you did roll a 6.
2.
A 2. Okay. As you're holding, you put the amulet back on.
Yeah.
As you are rushing forward to move these tables, these chairs, this furniture that's kind of jammed into this area, you reach out and you feel you again, you get even with the success on the insight check, you feel a presence still, that kind of cold down your back, that kind of flash of an image. You've seen it before. It doesn't phase you any further, but as you reach out to push against this table, or push against this corner of a piece of furniture, you feel a pressure in your hand kind of shove it, and it shoves it back about 3 foot.
I'll
And
just be
the
like,
amulet,
"Fuck."
the amulet glows. Kind
Would
Wow,
I
what
notice
is
that it was glowing? Would I see it glowing if it's around my neck?
of, you notice that it's brighter around you for a split second.
What was that?
I don't know. I think this amulet, some sort of, don't know, weird powers or something. I don't know what it is. I'm just gonna shake it off and carry on up. Shout to Needle, are you coming?
It's not clear.
I was going to say,
Oh, is it not clear? I thought it was clear.
No,
Sorry.
it's shoved basically about 3 foot back.
Is it there enough gap for my small ass to get through?
I think you might be able to.
I'm going to try and squeeze through.
Give us a roll.
Oh! 2, I assume.
2 unless you want to roll insight as well.
3.
3. Yeah, you kind of take a second look at it, and you see there is room to kind of you think to worm your way through. You'll be able, at least be able to see kind of how far it goes. So you belly down and kind of like kitten crawl through it. Yeah, with a 3, it takes a little bit of time. You do feel kind of a couple of points where it's constricting. A couple of points where Polly, you hear a bit of a muffled shout where he says lift something or push something, and it'll kind of give you that little bit of extra room to kind of force your way through the tighter spots. But after maybe 8 or 9 foot, you kind of push against the back of a chair or something. It moves out the way, it drops, and there's just an open space in front of you at the top of the stairs.
So he can't reach Ollie through this gap.
No, it's probably it's from where you kind of went into it. It's about 9 foot. There's probably 2 or 3 sets of furniture kind of piled on top of each other. Doesn't mean Polly also can't reach you.
I know.
I'm gonna shout to Needle. You better not be leaving me down here, Needle.
Don't worry, I got you. Look, it's open this side. And I'm gonna crawl back a little bit further through, and I'm assuming you can, if you duck her down, you can see me through the thing. I'm gonna go get on your belly and lean forward and give me your hand.
I'm gonna just hesitate a little minute because I don't know, trust him. But then
I've got my.
I will.
Got my hand up.
I'll lean down, give him my hand.
As she tries to give me a hand, I'm gonna try and grab the necklace from around her neck.
Oh.
Okay. That would be opposed rolls. You have Polly, you'll have 1 dice for this. Needle, you have 2. You can add insight dice if you wish.
Okay. What did you get?
2.
I got a 5.
5.
And I rolled insight on that, and my insight was a 4.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You are again belly down. You've moved a few bits. So it's a little bit more space than there was on the way through initially. You didn't want to force anything too much. And yeah, as Polly kind of starts going headfirst into the hole, you reach out, grab the necklace, and pull.
Cool.
And it comes loose.
Brilliant. I'm going to scurry back as quickly as I possibly can. And
So I can't like do anything now, can I? Because you beat the roll, so I can't try and grab his leg or anything like that.
No, you're kind of taken aback by it.
Okay.
He has just stolen from you, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna scream. Sorry, shut your face. I'm gonna be like, Needle, get back here now, and then I'm gonna.
Wow, the politest scream I've ever heard.
I can't be serious because you're just smiling. You're like, yay. And I could be like, needle, needle.
I'm going to try and, as I get to the other side of the thing, I'm going to try and collapse it so it's completely blocked off.
Okay. I'm gonna need an insight check from you.
Yeah, no problem. 3.
3. Okay, Polly. You've just had someone who you started to trust steal from you, and intentionally, from what you can see, intentionally collapse something, stopping you from being able to move forward. Gonna need an insight check from you as well.
4.
4. Okay. Okay. We'll get back to you in a second, Needle. Polly, from the floor below, you hear thud on the door. Thud. And around the walls, you start seeing specks of light kind of emanating from the wall, as over the last couple of minutes these figures have pushed their way through the wall itself and are starting to kind of move through the wall, and you see the room, the light is starting to increase slightly in the room as just the front of the first one's face starts coming through the wall itself. Needle.
Mm-hmm.
You've taken this necklace. You've stolen from someone who you were starting to trust. You weren't trusting them. You never trusted them.
This was
Why
the
would you
plan.
trust them?
No. Why wasn't I trusting them?
Why would you trust them?
Yeah.
They were a means to an end.
Yeah.
Nothing more.
No.
Your job is to get back. Your job is to figure out what's going on here and get back, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. You got a pendant. You got this amulet. You've stolen this. You turn into the room ahead of you. This floor has metal cases which over time have dropped on an angle, have twisted. You see the walls around you. You see a doorway that goes through, you think probably to the other tower, and you see another staircase going up.
I'm gonna bolt upwards. Oh man, this is like a stereotypical movie, isn't it? Never run up the stairs. Never run up the stairs. Ah, shit. Oh, do I go in through the door or do I go up? From what I saw outside, I'm just trying to recollect. From what I saw outside, this tower goes through the roof.
Yeah. So this one, Polly said that this one, if you stay in this tower, it will go up through the roof. If you go to the other one, it breaks off about 200 feet up.
Breaks off as in it's broken, as in open
as
air.
In it's broken. Open air. It looks like something's destroyed it and it's fallen.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going up this tower.
Okay. You start heading up the stairs ahead of you. Polly, what are you carrying? What do you have on you that can help you in this situation? You don't have your amulet anymore.
I think I have. I've got my weapons, I suppose. I've got like a sort of a sword I can get out and try and hack at the furniture. Try and break it bigger so I can squeeze through.
It dawns on you don't just have a sword. You have a chainsword.
Oh yes, a chainsaw. I have a chainsaw. Yes.
You have a sword with a moving chain on it, almost like a chainsaw in its own right. So what do you do?
I'm gonna pull it out, activate it, and just start hacking into the furniture with the cutting it apart, trying to make it bigger so I could squeeze through.
Yeah, you feel this anger inside you. This person who you're starting to trust stole from you. He took that amulet from you. This is something that it wasn't his to take. It was given to you. The tree, the creature, it handed it to you. He's already taken it once, mocked you, and then handed it back, and now he's taken it again. Needle, you are running up the stairs. You hear the unmistakable sound of a chainsaw behind you. You hear you hear the motor start up. You hear the blade rattle for a second as it kind of picks up speed, and you hear it hacking repeatedly into these wooden furniture behind you. Furniture that's been shoved into the top of that.
Can I make a roll so she, as she's hacking into the things, she drops the chainsword?
I'd say because there's been no roll made for it.
Yeah, no worries.
Because all that would happen is if she dropped it, she'd pick it back up again.
Yeah, okay.
It's
that
not
makes sense.
like that. It's not like it would have fell off the edge or anything. If
You're
there was a dice roll
evil.
involved,
I'm just trying to get away with my life. That's all I'm trying to do. I know. Well, I forgot that you had a chainsaw, so now I know that I'm in Shit's Creek if you ever catch up with me. So I'm running.
Yeah, just you wait till I catch you up. If I ever do.
you carry on up the tower as you round this next corner, onto the next level of the tower, 60 foot up from where you started off. You see in front of you a foot.
A what? A foot?
Foot of this carved statue.
Fuck.
Reaching incredibly high up through the ceiling. It goes through into the next floor. You see carved this huge talon on the end of on the end of the toes. You do see. How much time are you taking to look around?
Oh, not a lot. I'm bolting. No, I'm trying to figure. I'm again Sherlock Holmes in it. Literally just trying to figure escape route.
Okay. Do me. Are you spending a moment to look around?
Oh yeah, because obviously I'm trying to figure out where to go.
Okay. Give us a check roll. Give us a roll.
Just advantage or not advantage? Sorry.
I'd say just one because you have been using that for quite a lot of different things. So
I'm going to use my insanity as well then. I'm going to use my insanity as well. Okay, no, a 3.
3.
Not on the insanity.
Okay, yeah, you feel probably carrying on up the stairs. You do notice just out of the corner of your eyes as you're running past. You notice there's again more of these display cabinets where they've shunted and broken. Some of them have fallen, the glass is shattered. You do notice kind of pictures, paintings on the wall, but you're not taking the time really to look at them. There's this greeny blue diffuse light all around you, and this large sculpted being in the center. By this point, Polly, you've hacked through. You can again see the beings, these spectres, starting to congregate in the bottom of the tower, kind of looking up, not moving up the stairs, just stop there. And again, you hack through, and you're into the next floor. You see again these broken display cabinets. You see these kind of again broken bits of furniture. Shattered glass on the floor and a staircase going off ahead of you.
I'm going to try and run up the staircase, try and catch up to need.
Okay. I'd like both of you to roll a check. Just one dice each. See who gets the highest on this. One person trying to catch up to the other. Thief trying to escape from, trying to evade his pursuer.
Me to go first?
Both roll at the same time.
I've rolled.
I've rolled
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
I'll
I've
go
got a
first.
3.
I got 4.
Ah,
It's
got a
there.
3.
Beautiful.
I can't see it. Damn it.
I can't see it, but it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, you can hear footsteps behind you. Polly, you can hear footsteps ahead of you. You know where Needle's skittering off to, like the little rat that he is. Needle, you can hear these thumping footsteps behind you and this revving of this motor on this device. You keep running. You go up another floor. You start seeing knees of this sculpted figure. You go up another floor and another floor. Give us another dice roll, both of you.
Can I thingy it?
You can add insight to it if you wish.
Get to re-roll that dice. Okay. Right. So I'll go first this time. I rolled a 1 originally, then I rolled my insight dice, which was another
Insight
1.
and
Which was another 1, and then I re-rolled that other dice, and it became a 4.
okay.
I rolled a 3 again.
Rolling great.
These little legs! I'm going to escape! Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Yeah.
I really want to catch up to you.
I really don't want you to catch up to me.
You hear these footsteps behind you, starting to peter off in the darkness a little bit, and you go up. You go up one final. It feels like you've been running for hours. You're seeing, as you're going level by level, you're seeing sections of this statue. You can swear. Roll an insight dice,
Oh God.
both of you.
5.
3? What is it with me and 3s?
It's an average number. It's fine. My insight is 4, so that was higher than my.
So yeah, you turn a corner, and it literally brings you to a stop because you see a foot with this talon, this claw, moving out the front of it.
Another foot.
That's the thought. But then it clicks. It clicks in your mind. This isn't another foot. This is the
Foot
same
that I
foot.
saw before. Right. Yeah. I forgot this bit was like a vision. I genuinely for a moment thought that it was another foot. I was like,
No.
hang on, am
No,
I in a
this
time
is-
loop? What's
This is
going
in
on?
front of you. This isn't a vision. This is in front of you. The floor is identical. You take a step forward, and you look around. The foot is the foot that you've seen previously. You can see above you the floor, the hole in the ceiling with the body continuing, the statue continuing on ahead of you. And you stand there.
Do I have the amulet on me in this vision?
You are you. You feel like you.
This crazy aura that is around me, same color that is projected from the amulet. Yeah.
So it's the blue green. Coming off both of the towers.
I am gonna. Not very sane at this point.
Not insane at this point. You hear this amulet. You hear a voice.
Yeah. Here we go.
From this amulet, you hear firstly a breath, and this voice says, "Welcome." Why are you here? What do you wish to learn?
I wish to learn power.
Footstep behind you. Footstep behind you. Thud, 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 thud. And this revving of a sword as Polly comes tearing up the stairs behind you as well. Polly?
So this
in
isn't
front
a
of you.
vision.
In front of you, you see Needle stood there. Just head slightly tipped, as if listening to something. Amulet glowing around his neck.
Gonna go over to him and hit him with the handle, the chainsaw. So he falls down. I want to take the amulet off him.
Needle,
And
can you do a insight check for me?
3.
3. You, out of the corner of your eye, you hear these footsteps running up behind you. You hear the chainsword revving behind you. As you start to turn, you see the handle descending towards your face, and you instinctively make a gesture with your hand, and the chainsaw handle stops about 3 inches away from you. And there's a burst of greeny blue energy kind of from the amulet.
I'm going to take a deep breath in, and I'm going to kind of do like a kamehameha, where I just kind of just go, and I'm just going to try, like, I can feel this presence, yeah? I can feel that it's super powerful, and I'm just going to try and blow her back into the wall.
Nothing happens. And his voice says, "You will not harm each other. You have a choice to make."
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna scream at Needle, saying, "Why did you leave me, you little shit?"
I'm not coherent to her at the moment. I'm listening to this. Being. Tell me more.
Why did you leave her?
Because it's who I am. I want status, power, influence. I want to rule the Undercity. And with these artifacts, I could have been on my way.
Polly, you hear him say this.
I'm just gonna say, why is your voice changed? Needle. Can he hear me, or is he still like a man?
I hear?
He doesn't give any indicator. He doesn't respond, but yeah, you can hear her. Yeah, this being in your mind says we can arrange that. What does?
And I'm gonna drop to one knee, or both knees. And I'm just gonna say, I offer myself to you.
I'm just gonna be watching. Needle, what the fuck are you doing? Because obviously I can't see what he's seeing, can I?
No. So ahead of both of you, there's no longer a foot there. Needle, you see a doorway. Again, as high as the ceiling, very narrow though, and across the front of it is this fresco of kind of oceans and different creatures that you've never seen before. They look like almost long gelatinous masses, and these strange kind of long arrow-like or like bullet-like creatures with sharp teeth and spikes sticking out of their back. You see humanoids with kind of webbed toes, webbed hands, kind of swimming amongst them. But it's an indicator this is all under liquid. It's bizarre. You've never seen, even in a picture, in a fresco, you've never seen anything like this before. And that door starts to open, and Polly, as Needle's kind of kneeling in supplication in front of you, you see large domed head, and these long tentacles kind of coming out the front of the face. And you both, now that the door is open, you both hear the same voice, Needle. You hear the voice say, "We can give you the power that you search for."
I will give you anything.
Gonna say to Needle, how do you know that they're not just gonna kill you instead of giving you power? And why has your voice changed?
It's a risk that I'm willing to take. Either you kill me, they kill me. With them, I get power. You, I get downtrodden like I have my whole life.
You're not gonna be able to get out of here without me.
She'll see. And I'm gonna
See
try.
so.
I'm gonna try and walk through the door.
Yeah. So the door is open to you. You can see this. Let's describe this head kind of almost resting on the walkway in front, and you take a step through. Polly.
I'm gonna follow because I'm gonna be thinking, Needle, even though he's a little shit, he knows the tunnels better than me, and he could possibly get me out, so I'm gonna follow.
Okay. Immediate deja vu. You've seen this moment before as you step through that doorway. The two of you walk side by side towards this. You still perceive it to be a statue. Hundreds of foot tall, large, bulbous head, like start on the like resting on the stone walkway around in a circle around it. You both hear, "Power is yours to take. Swear to me. I will give you the power that you need. But it does require sacrifice. One of you will go. One of you will stay."
What happens to the one that stays?
A different sort of power. Can you both roll insight checks for me?
Ah! I'll go first. I got a 5.
I got a 3. Someone grab up my dice.
You're so consistent with your threes.
I know this.
Yeah. So yeah, the being says it will require sacrifice. One of you will stay. One of you will go. Who will receive more power is debatable.
So what is the power of the person who stays, and what does the person who goes? What type of power do they get?
Make a choice and find out.
Well, so you talking to the
Yeah.
So
being.
yeah,
So I am gonna get my little dagger
Oh,
that I've had the whole time, and I'm gonna pull it out, and I'm gonna try and shank her in the back of the neck.
can I not
Ah.
do anything?
That's going to be an opposed roll.
Yeah. No, that's understandable. And I'm not used to combat, so I'm not going to take
No.
any form of. But I am
One
gonna.
from yourself.
But I am gonna
With
roll my
your
insanity
insight
dice.
Polly, you are used to fighting, but he does have the drop on you.
Okay.
So it'll be 1 dice from yourself. You can use your insight dice if you wish.
Yeah, I'm going to. Don't be a 3.
Don't be a 3.
Don't be a 3. Okay. Do you want me to tell you mine?
You can go.
Okay, my highest was on my insanity dice, and it was 5.
My highest was not on my insanity dice, and it was a 5.
I was thinking.
Want the power? I'm insane. I've got loopy. It's fine.
That's Needle been putting on his voice this whole time.
No, it's literally because I've just changed. It's literally like I like almost the way I see it is like it's almost like awoken.
Same dice roll. It's going to be a re-roll.
With insanity again.
Yeah, you can, if you haven't added your insanity dice, you can add it now if you wish.
What did you get?
My highest was on my insanity dice, and it was a 4.
I got a 3. Not on my insanity dice.
Okay. Can you do an insanity check for me, please, Polly?
4.
4. Okay. Yeah. So you're saying to the voice, what do you offer? And he says, make a choice as to who stays and who goes, and you will find out. As he says that, you feel the hairs on the back of your neck kind of prickle, and you sidestep as this dagger comes sweeping through the air about 5 inches from the side of you, as Needle stood there with this dagger in his hand.
I'm gonna
Fucking strike me
Can I-
down. I'm sorry.
Can I grab his arm and then like throw him to the floor, and then say to the being, "Is this what type of person you want to give power to? A weak maggot?" And then I'm gonna then I'm gonna break Needle's hand.
This for you. I'm gonna do a little. Yeah. So yeah, you
The hand
as he
that's got the
shoots down,
dagger in it. I want to break.
you grab it.
Yeah.
Kidney punch him. So he goes down onto the floor, and as he slips, as he rolls around, you body, rather than punching him, you body check him. And as he looks around, you raise your chainsaw up and slice clean through his arm.
Nice.
Was that your natural arm or your robotic arm?
What, I had the dagger in?
Yeah.
Hang on. Yeah, I'm right-handed, so natural hand.
Okay. You now have one robotic arm, from kind of mid lower arm downward, as this chainsaw like slices clean through it.
On my normal fleshy arm.
Mm-hmm.
What?
That was the one you tried to stab with?
So my fleshy arm I went through with, yeah. And then she obviously grabbed, shouldered me
What was
down.
it? Body checked, and
So I now have full robotic arm.
basically halfway halfway down, just
Okay.
under where she was holding it. Yeah, this metal grinding teeth just rip straight through your arm,
Yeah.
completely catching it. Polly, you're stood there with your friend's hand still holding the dagger, and this voice says, "Make a choice."
No. 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 Please.
I'd like to leave.
Oh no! Totally fucking off me.
I'd like to take the power and leave. And you can keep this weasel with you down here. He can't be trusted.
Take sacrifice. Take sacrifice.
There must be a sacrifice. As it says that, you see one of the eyes in the head slowly open. I mean, this eye's like this big, and then a second and a third. And again, as the skin kind of moves up the eyeball itself, you see stars. You see flashes of kind of space. You see infinity. And what do you do to sacrifice?
Or just tell him to fuck off and walk away. That'd be hilarious.
I mean, I have to sacrifice something.
What do you do? What do you do as a sacrifice? It's the symbology of it.
So, okay. Oh, I don't want to say this.
Go for it.
Do it.
I'm gonna kill Needle as a sacrifice. Can I do that?
Yeah. What'd you do?
I'm gonna get my chainsaw out. I'm just gonna go straight through his head.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. Needle, you see Polly stood over you. You've got your arm cradled against you. You see out of the corner of your eye the eyes begin to open one at a time, and you turn and stare into the abyss, into the lights, and you feel this thud basically on the back of your head, just bisecting it, and you travel. You're there in the space. You're there in the void. You travel through this being's eyes, and you learn everything. Your mind fractures. Your mind melts. Give me do one insight check for me.
I'll be a 6. Be a 6. Come on.
Just in case you manage to
No, I wouldn't have failed
retain
it.
any part of yourself.
Come on. No. Absolutely just lose it. Come on. 1.
There is still some of Needle in existence. Something that Needle himself dies as this chainsaw rips through him and literally bisects him from head to hips. But there is still something of Needle that's in with this being. You learn what happened to the old races. You learn what happened to the humans that travelled out to the stars and returned. You learn about the worlds that they went to. You learn about the powers that they can wield. You learn about the amulet and how it was doing what it was doing, how it was powering the abilities that you were only just starting to scratch the surface of. And you learn you learn everything that you could ever want to learn. And Needle is still there. Needle is still wanting to keep scraping and find out more. Needle wanting to get that power so he can come back and he can return. He can become like the elves, these incorporeal beings that they don't need bodies to survive. But he wants to learn how to do that, and he does. And he sees Ethrol form, reform, and break apart and be destroyed, and reform, and different ways it all happens, and different different versions of Ethrol kind of being destroyed and being rebuilt and coming to an end and reborn over and over again in thousands and millions and countless different ways. And that's where you stay for now. Polly, you've made a decision. You are not going to be the sacrifice. Instead, you keep hold of the amulet. And the amulet, again, it teaches you things, but at a much slower rate. You make a deal with this being. You learn the word warlock. You learn the pacts that they used to make and how they would take just a fraction, a tiny portion of these beings' powers into themselves and be able to control old magic deep in the old cities. And it's up to you. Where do you want to go with this knowledge?
Could I develop it, like, and start doing that magic? Is this what it's teaching me?
It can definitely teach you that. Do you want to remain here? Do you want to return to your old life?
If I remained there while I was learning about these powers, could I return again to like where I came from with the knowledge of that and take it back with me?
You'd certainly be able to do so, yes.
Then I'd like to stay to learn more.
Okay. You spend decades learning, again, at a much slower rate than Needle was able to. Every so often you return back to the top floor and you see Needle's body starting to deteriorate. You see Needle's body starting to mould and rot and begin to drip through the floor. As you saw in that vision all that while ago. But you also spend time looking through and cataloguing all of the items that are in the tower. All those display cabinets that you saw which were broken open. You find out about the different races. From a much earlier standpoint, you don't see the same degree that Needle did. You learn about the old races. You learn what happened to them and why they mutated or changed the way that they did. And you spend time, you spend decades learning, and eventually you get to a point where you can start wielding the power and retaining your sensibilities, retaining your individual self. You don't lose yourself into the insanity, and eventually you are able to ascend the tower, continue past the head of this being that you spent time communicating with and learning from, and you eventually break through into one of the more trod sections of the Undercity, and you manage to make your way back. And ahead of you, through the rain, through the dripping condensation from the ceilings, you see the neon outline of the bar that you were such a long time ago working as a bouncer there. And that's where we'll leave it.
Nice,
Ooh.
man. Nice. It's cool.
Body had melt.
That was cool.
That was
I
good.
wanted to by the end of it. I was like, yeah. I wanted like, I wanted the power. Like, obviously, otherwise I wouldn't have shot.
You know what? Even though you did all that, I really didn't want to kill you.
No, no. This is like you as a person. Like, you're just so kind, and I was like, you're gonna give me another chance, aren't you? Like, come on, just put that chainsaw straight through my skull. Like, you would not have had to have asked me twice. Like, oh no, that was really cool.
Cthulhu Dark. That's what Cthulhu Dark does. It's a game of not aiming to win, but having fun along the way.
Yeah, that was
So
so
hopefully
cool.
everyone has done so.
Definitely, man.
From the look on Dan's face, he certainly has.
That was so
Thank you for putting
cool.
up with me.
No, that was awesome. That was so cool. No, thanks for running that. Thank you for running that so much.
No,
Thanks, bro.
So yeah, back to reality, I guess. Next week, we are should be back on our normal schedule. Everyone is available up to now, so should be back to our available schedule. So we'll be back here next Friday. Hope you guys enjoyed watching as well. But we will be back here next Friday, 8:30 GMT time, right here on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. And yeah, till next time, have a great week. Take it easy.
thank you very much.